Alright, we are back to the game once again. Welcome to another live stream. Today we'll be solving Leetcodes. And as for the excuse that I'm going to make for not doing live streams on regular basis, I would say it was because I was not feeling good, I was feeling lazy, and that's why मैंने नहीं किया. So रहने दो, उस टाइप का बात नहीं करेंगे. Let's just focus on solving real world problems. So as usual, we are going to start a live stream with our usual ritual. That is obviously you guys already have figured out or guessed, whatever. It is practicing this session of typing, whatever you call it. So let's do it. Goes here. काफ़ी ज़्यादा नहीं आया. आई एम नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद दिस रिजल्ट. सो हम लोग दोबारा ट्राई करेंगे और एक. पता नहीं, but I'm not performing like my usual. It is not my peak performance. I usually score above 70, 72. Somehow, lastly I saw it was 78. So you can understand how fast I have become. उसके बाद भी मैंने अब आज वो कर नहीं पाया. So whatever. द रियल प्रॉब्लम है जो मैं फेस कर रहा हूँ कि जिसके कारण मैं टाइप कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस व्हाट इज़ इट कॉल्ड, आई नो, द पोजीशन वेयर माय कीबोर्ड इज और माय चेयर और ओवरऑल माय पोस्चर आई वुड से. तो उसके लिए द प्रॉब्लम इज अराइजिंग क्योंकि एनीवे लेट्स नॉट talk bullshit and let's start getting into it. तो आज हम लोग लीड कोड सॉल्व करेंगे. Let me show you what I was doing. So this was the problem that we talked about that we would solve, or I would come with a solution next time I come live on YouTube. But unfortunately that didn't happen because I was not solving lead codes. I was focusing on another development related work of mine, like मेरा जो प्रोजेक्ट है आई वॉज ट्राइंग टू डू अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ दैट वर्क. मैंने जैंगो ट्राई किया. आई मीन जैंगो मेरे को थोड़ा बहुत आता है, उतना भी ज़्यादा नहीं उसके. हाँ मतलब ये भी बात पर करना सही नहीं है क्योंकि आई हैव नो फकिंग क्लू हाउ टू डू एनीथिंग इन जैंगो फ्रॉम स्क्रैच. उसी के लिए मैंने जैंगो भी ट्राई कर रहा था. उससे पहले मैंने फ्रंट एंड का थोड़ा बहुत क्लास को कोर्स किया क्योंकि मेरे को CSS आता नहीं है एंड रिएक्ट में भी मैं न्यू हूँ. तो उसके लिए आई वॉज डूइंग ऑल शॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स एंड आई कम्प्लीटली फॉरगॉट अबाउट लीड कोर्स. एट द सेम टाइम आई इवन स्टार्टेड JavaScript from scratch because I know JavaScript is quite easy. It has nothing to do with complex things like other programming languages like Java, C++, but if you don't have the basic knowledge of logics and mathematical calculations, then तुम्हारे लिए सब कुछ कठिन होगा. You will see everything hard. You will feel like it will seem that everything is hard for you. And I'm very good with math, but something is still unfamiliar with me because when you are supposed to implement mathematical formulas or other tactics of logics in real functioning प्रोग्राम्स, तुम्हारे लिए वो थोड़ा दिक्कत हो जाता है, क्योंकि जिसके साथ जिन लोगों को थ्योरी पता है उन लोगों को प्रैक्टिकल करना नहीं आता है। आई मीन आता है, लेकिन मेरा केस में वही हुआ। आई नो द थ्योरी, आई कैन हैंडल द थियोरिटिकल पार्ट ईजिली, बट वो इफ़ यू गिव मी or if you tell me to apply those knowledge that I have gained or acquired to something that functions properly, then I will struggle a bit. That's why I was trying my best to get my hands on different projects, building different utility tools, or simple designs in CSS, whatever. So let's not make it any let's not delay the process. We will be speaking with our get my hands. So yeah, I think the live stream is on and it is going quite well, so we are jumping right into it. Our first problem for the day: rob the houses. So the house. Let's go. House robber, I'm sorry. So we are going to solve these two problems today, I guess. First, house robber 2, no, sorry. It is going to be house robber 1. Then secondly, it is going to be house robber 2. Okay. मैंने आज दोपहर से सोच रहा था कि आज मैं लाइव करूँगा ही करूँगा. So in the morning I worked on this thumbnail. I designed this thumbnail with a lot of time because I was trying to waste my time in things because I was feeling lazy. This is not something I'm supposed to repeat. And मैंने decide कर लिया कि future में ये नहीं करूँगा मैं. So let's try to decode the problem a little bit. You professional robber planning to rob houses along a street. So let's make some diagram, I guess. It becomes easier when you make diagrams for whatever, for any problems that you solve with. Oh, house robber. मैंने एक टाइटल दिया, रॉब द हाउस. So first it is going to be, what was it? Professional rob planning to rob houses along a street. This house has a certain amount of money stashed. The only constraint stopping you from robbing each of them is the adjacent houses have security systems connected, and it will automatically contact the police if two adjacent houses were broken into on the same night. मतलब adjacent साइड का से घर है, जिससे हमारे बगल में जो घर है उधर में सपोज मैंने ड्रॉ कर रखा है. मैं ड्रॉ करके बताता हूँ क्योंकि मेरा एक्सप्लेन करने का तरीका थोड़ा दिक्कत है उसमें. I don't know why, but this shit happens from time to time. I don't really wanna talk about that bullshit for the time being. Let's move on to the real deal. That is 1, 2. I really have to buy a graphic tablet for this kind of shit. तब एक्सप्लेन करने में मज़ा भी आएगा, ड्राइंग करने में. बहन क्या हो रहा है बे? 1 2 3 4 5. ओके, व्हाट द फक. अबे साले, ये क्या हो रहा है? कैसे करता है पता ही नहीं. I'm gonna delete this guy. So anyway, we have our diagram. So basically we have given an integer array name representing the amount of money each house amount of money of each house. Return the maximum amount of money you can rob tonight without alerting the police. So हमारा जो काम है condition, let's add some condition or constraint to be precise. Constraints. And just saying houses have security cameras, systems that alerts the police automatically. So this is our array. इसके अंदर हमारा मनी या फिर पैसा है whatever is it. तो इधर वन मैं इधर से जल्दी से कॉपी करता हूँ 1 2 3 1 ओके 2 3 4 5 1 थोड़ा बहुत अलाइन करने में दिक्कत क्या है guys? I'm sorry but if it feels boring but then please bear with it. I am still new to this job of being a teacher or whatever. Well, I'm not a teacher and I'm not even trying to teach you guys, but I'm trying to decode it for myself so that later when I try to solve it while code or whatever, while I write codes, मेरे लिए easy हो जाए. तो उसी के लिए मैं इधर डायग्राम बना रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरा गोल पहले से ही था ये कि हम आप लोगों के साथ मिलकर सीखेंगे एंड देन जब मैं I'll have a great idea, I'll have a clear idea about what is going on with the problem or any problem that we are currently dealing with, then मैं explain करने जाऊँगा क्योंकि उससे पहले नहीं. So right now I am making things easy for me. इसको इधर ऐड करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा ना? हाँ सही है. तो आज इसके बाद इधर so this is our houses. House 1 if we लिख देता हूँ क्योंकि this is our house 1 I guess. कौन से टाइप का फॉन्ट यूज करने में अच्छा रहेगा पता नहीं. House 1 this font doesn't look good I guess. कौन सा था? House 2 3 House 4 5 6. So guys now we'll be talking about जल्दी से मैं थोड़ा बहुत एडिट भी कर देता हूँ. मैंने थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही हाउस ले लिया क्योंकि मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया था उधर क्या था. सो हमारा पहला हाउस वी आर गोना इनफिल्ट्रेट द फर्स्ट हाउस. तो फर्स्ट वी आर अटैकिंग दिस गाइज. सो व्हाट वी आर अर्निंग इज फ्रॉम हियर वी आर अर्निंग कौन सा लो इधर इससे अच्छा रहेगा. Should I keep it like this? I know it is not the right way to show this shit. So this is our first attempt of stealing money from the first house number 1. तो इसके लिए हमने we are robbing the house में हम लोगों ने अटैक कर दिया. अब हमने सब पैसा ले लिया जो इधर स्टैश था. उसके बाद we are keeping a record. I guess this is the right way, using a hash map will be the ideal procedure So I'll take the note here. Man, this shit is quite disgusting. Hash man. फॉन्ट साइज को चेंज करने से अच्छा रहेगा आई गेस. Hash man. Alright. So what is the constraint for robbing this problem or whatever you call it, robbing this houses? तो इधर बोल दिया था कि adjacent houses, मतलब हमारे बगल वाले हाउस में हम लोग नहीं जा सकते. तो इसके लिए let me draw some shit. We can't infiltrate this one. This is out of the box. We can't really target this guy because if we do so, we'll get caught by the police, or maybe the police will get that notification, or police will be alerted that we are doing something wrong here. तो उसके लिए हमारा जो next target है वो होगा. I was trying to copy, but it is not working. What the hell? Alright. तो अब हम लोग हाउस 3 में आ चुका हूँ. So मतलब पहले we did our mission on the house number 1. It is not looking good. We did our mission on the house number 1. Then we are targeting the house number 3. We are skipping this house number 2 that is between us. So in this way, we are not really doing whatever we were given warning about. It was that we can't really target the houses that are side by side. So adjacent means that bagalale makan or house. So this can't happen. इसके बाद हम लोगों ने हमारा जो टारगेट टोटल मानी हो चुका है वो है दिस इज 3. उसके बाद फिर से हम लोग इधर से फिर से लेता हूँ. मैंने पहले ड्राइंग कर लेता हूँ. आई मीन दिस डायग्राम बना लेता हूँ. उसके बाद इट विल बी ईजियर टू डू एवरीथिंग. तो आई थिंक आवर प्रॉब्लम इज डन हियर. तो इधर से हम लोगों को 3 मिला, इधर से हम लोगों को 5 मिलेगा. मैंने जल्दी से इधर मार्किंग भी कर लेता हूँ. दिस गाय इज नॉट वैलिड. थोड़ा बहुत क्लीन रखता हूँ क्योंकि उससे अंडरस्टैंडिंग विल बी बेटर फॉर यू गाइस. एंड वी आर नॉट इवन टारगेटिंग दिस गाय एज वेल. So this is the breakdown, simple breakdown. So procedure 1 is gonna be this is our algorithm. Let me just define the algorithm. Then we will be moving on to the next step of trying to figure out the solution. Even मेरे को भी पता नहीं कैसे solve करना है, लेकिन I'll try to pretend that I am doing something the real way. As they say, fake it until you make it. So in order to become a proficient, in order to become an efficient problem solver of this kind of things, you have to pretend that you know how to do the deal. तो मैं वो ही करने जा रहा हूँ इधर. So this is our first approach. What we are doing is we are attacking, we are robbing house number 1, then we are going to house number 2. House number 3. Then we are skipping house number 4 and then going to house number 5. Then we are skipping once again house number 6 because we can't really deal with houses that are side by side. So our decision is quite clear here. This is the procedure that we are following. उसके बाद हम लोगों का काम इधर हो गया. The second procedure or the second step is gonna be total sum of these values that we stored inside our hash map. So let me copy these guys, these balls. अबे होता क्यों नहीं रे? 3 1, 2, 2, now it is 3. It is 3 and this was 5. Alright. थोड़ा कलर ऐड कर देते and we're good to go, I guess. अबे के बाद total is the sum 9. Where is the thing? This is quite problematic. So this is the solution to the problem. कलर भी चेंज कर देता हूँ, इससे अच्छा लगेगा I guess. This is the total algorithm that we need to follow. But उसके लिए अब we will have to figure out the code, क्योंकि मैं इसमें थोड़ा weak हूँ, क्योंकि I am still not used to this kind of things. मैंने पहले मैंने प्रॉब्लम को this type you know break down किया, उसके बाद हम लोग कोडिंग करेंगे. That is the part that we have to focus. So उसके लिए let's give it another read. Explanation is already given here, as you can see. Rob house number 1 and then rob house number 3. Total amount you can rob 1 plus 3 4. मतलब मैंने जो समझाया, this is our house number 1 where we are first going in to rob the house. Then we are skipping this next house that is beside us. That is obviously our adjacent house, and that is to avoid alerting the police. हम लोग नहीं चाहेंगे हम लोग नहीं चाहेंगे कि पुलिस हम लोगों को पता लगा ले, हम लोगों का काम धाम पता लगा ले. तो उसके लिए हम we are doing that, and then we are infiltrating the house number 3, and that's it. Similarly, इधर जो another example है, first we are getting in the house number 2, then we are getting in house number 3, then similarly house number it is 5, right? Yeah, house number 5. So the total is gonna be 12, obviously. House number 1, house number 3 and house number blah blah blah. तो उसके लिए I think मैंने बहुत दिन हो गया मैंने लीटकोड में कोई कुछ भी ऐड पोस्ट और सबमिट नहीं किया. I solve problems, but वो मैं सिर्फ सीखने के लिए करता हूँ. I still haven't started this Leetcode thing to get ratings or whatever you say it, क्योंकि उसमें I'm still not gonna do anything good. मेरे को पता नहीं क्या करना चाहिए, but I think I'll have to stick with this for a longer time to be precise. So देख सकते हो हमारा एल्गोरिदम रेडी है. अब हम लोग प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग में जाएंगे straight. Let's get to piece code, baby. तो I forgot something. Alright. So for better understanding मैं ये भी कॉपी कर लेता हूँ, example 1 और example 2. शायद problem solving में it will be helpful. I don't know how, but it somehow will help. Alright, let's do the deal now. Let's return this shit here. This is the problem I face. This is the proof that I was working with JavaScript recently. This semicolon shit. Oh, wait guys. This is our hash map, and what we need to do is, so मैंने सोचा कि we're going to run a loop, or we're going to run a loop on the elements of our array, and we will store the first element, then we are going to skip the second one. इससे पहले I mean, instead of hash map, we can even create an empty list, I guess. How about that? So we are adding the element, I guess. उसके बाद before anything, I would like to see if the way I'm approaching this problem is gonna work or not. Problems are gonna come, but who the hell is gonna correct me if I'm not the one who is paying attention to these things? So I'll be doing different kind of things. It is going to take a lot of time to solve. Maybe eventually I'll have to. What happened? 27931. Alright. तो इधर मेरा कुछ और भी करना है. I guess I'm. Well, how about that? I can't access local variable. Can't access local variable I where it is not associated with a value. Forgot. I'm sorry, but we really need to initialize it. So 293. As you can see, isn't this what we want? Isn't this something that we had in our objective list? This isn't it something that we wanted to do? As you can see, first we are robbing the first house. Okay, from there we are getting 2 money, so that's your money. We are skipping the second house, that is 7. Then we are going straight to 9, and then we are again skipping the house number 4 and 1. Eventually that's it. So now what we have to do is इधर एक क्या बोलते हैं उसको, सम बोलते हैं I guess, record. Yo mate, we solved the fucking problem without the help of anything, man. That's how we are supposed to do, baby. It was pretty simple, I guess. Now let's look at the solution. But before anything, I'm gonna submit this problem, I guess. I'm gonna submit this problem, that the way I solved it, and I don't know how it will be rated, but I'm just gonna post it because it is something that we were able to solve it without any issue. And you know something, the calculation that we did before, jumping into coding was quite helpful, because that's what made us to solve this problem without any hassle, without really having to do it anything else. So we used while loop. I don't know how these guys will solve it. Let's look for the solution somewhere. Where can we find it? Where can we find it? Solving the house level Leetcode problems, leveling up, level up coding. Let's look for here. Let's look here. So what is this guys doing? Alright. So you're professional, alright, we know that. Constraints 1 is less than equal to num's length, that's the array, and it can't exceed 100, alright. 0 should be less than nums of height, okay, and it shouldn't be bigger than 400 or equal to 400. So it is pretty simple. Now what is this guys doing? I don't know, what is it called? Is it called a binary tree or something? Is this what it is? No. Maybe it is called the identify a dynamic programming problem. मेरे को dynamic programming सीखना पड़ेगा. Cause I find that solving any problem, or I find that quite cool. You know, you're supposed to solve problems that are hard for normal coders, and you are doing it that fast, you know, within a given period of time. You are a real deal, man. So let's read what this guy is saying here. Optimization for funding the maximum amount of money I can draw for a quantitative draw houses. The problems deals with the sequence represented and users are satisfied with overlapping sub-problems and optimal substructure. As the progress along the raw house, the decision at the current house is based on the prior decision made at the previous house. The decision for the house 3 depends on the prior decision made for houses 2 and 1. Similarly, the decision for house 4 depends on the prior decision made for houses 3, and the problems earlier on are encountered more than once. Hence, the overlapping subproblems property is satisfied. Optimal structure. The maximum amount that could be robbed after to the current house is built upon the maximum amount accumulated from the previous houses. For example, at house 4, I look at the maximum amounts accumulated so far from houses 3 and 2. Thus the optimal substructure property is satisfied. मेरे को घंटा पता है in what is the being said here. I completely don't understand what is this kind of, is it some kind of algorithm or not? Oh, I see. Some kind of technique for dynamic programming. इधर बोला है dynamic programming is an algorithmic paradigm that solves a given complex problem by breaking it into sub-problems using recursion. Recursion का concept इधर use होगा. जो मेरे को जितना पता है, recursion is not an efficient approach for, you know, time complexities or space complexities, whatever I said, क्योंकि उसमें थोड़ा बहुत दिक्कत होता है. Define the state with a few step parameters. The position of the house on the street row or array index uniquely identifies it. I also need to remember the maximum accumulated amount dropped up to, and including that specific house I array index or position of the house in the street. Maximum accumulation, the maximum accumulated amount dropped up to and including house I. Formulate the relationship between the previous states to reach the current state. तो इन लोगों ने जो तरीके से अप्रोच किया है, that's quite efficient, or you know, how do I say it? That's quite expected. That's quite the right way of solving a dynamic programming problem, I'd say. जो I hope मैंने नहीं किया, and मेरे को पता नहीं है क्या करना चाहिए था. तो बिफोर दैट लीड कोड का एक वीडियो देखेंगे, क्योंकि उससे पहले हम लोग आर्टिकल ख़त्म करेंगे. So at each house, I can decide to rob this house or not rob this house. Rob it at the house I. If I decide to rob it, then the previous house at position I minus 1 can't be robbed. Else the police will be alerted. So I take the max accumulated value for the house 2, doors down at house I minus 2. Add the memory robbed from house 1, which is nums on, hence max accumulated I plus nums I. Don't rob it at house I. If I decided not to rob it, then I have the maximum accumulate value for the previous house at position I minus 1, which is max accumulate I minus 1 simple. Max of the two choices. Thus the maximum accumulated amount robbed up to and including house I is the maximum value from the two choices. Maximum accumulate max accumulate I minus 1 plus nums I max I minus 1. Determine the base case. For the first house, the maximum accumulated hours is simply by robbing max accumulated 0 equals 0. The first and the second house maximum count the max of robbing for the first house. Top down for top down versus bottom. Top down. Further utilizing memorization. Here is a drop down approach, solution by current level. I remain the variable so that it is easier to compare with the bottom of the solution, and I use dictionary of an array of an array with a data structure. I also use the base case of the one and comparison to the bottom of the solution. In this approach, I start with the original problem of robbing all the houses on the street. I break it down by taking out the last house, finding the max accumulated value for the previous house plus the house two doors away. This is based on the recurrence relation. Max accumulate equals max accumulate I minus 1 plus num max accumulate I minus 1. I recursively break down the subproblem, taking one house out of consideration. Until I reach the base cases of house 1 and house 2. I save the max accumulated values for house 1 and house 2 for later lookups. Using the solutions to the sub-problems, I continue building the problem back up by adding back one house and storing the max accumulated value for future use. Eventually, I get back to my original problem of robbing all the houses and look up the max accumulated values needed to calculate my final answer. Alright, so इधर हमारा JavaScript का भी है, जो मेरे लिए quite necessary. It is quite helpful for me because as I mentioned, I'm learning JavaScript a little from scratch to get in there to get deeper into it. Function later, इधर एक ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया हमने. ऑलराइट, फंक्शन, इधर फंक्शन है हमारा max accumulate nums I. If I is equals 0, return num 0. What was that? अच्छा, so indexing से has nothing to do with indexing. मैं फास्ट हम लोगों ने किया के बाद क्या है? If I equals 1, real math max nums on nums 2. फिर से पढ़ना पड़ेगा आई गेस द एक्सप्लेनेशन इज इम्पोर्टेंट हियर इधर था हम लोगों ने formulate the relation between the previous states to reach the current state. Relation between the previous states to reach the current state. That is how the words are not. Rob it at a house. If I decide to rob it, then the previous house at position I must can't be robbed. Alright? It is same. This same rule applies to the house that is coming in front of us. That is obviously I plus 1. I mean उसमें दिक्कत होगा. It will show that out of index error. It will show an error out of index. It will show an out of index error. So I guess इन लोग जो बोल रहा है उसको ही follow करना चाहिए. Else the police will be alerted. So I take the max accumulated value for the house 2 doors down at house and add to can't be robbed and add to the money robbed from house 1 who is nums I hence max accumulate I minus 2 plus nums I. All right, समझ गया. Similarly, जब हम लोग एक हाउस को रॉब करेंगे नहीं at the house I, if I decided to not rob it, then I have the max accumulated value for the previous house at position I minus 1, which is max accumulate I minus 1. उसके बाद max of the two choices does the maximum accumulated amount robbed up to and including house I is the maximum value from the two choices. नहीं कुछ decided to I can't be robbed. अच्छा मतलब इधर बोला जा रहा है कि जब सपोज हमने हाउस नंबर 1 को रॉब किया उसके बाद हमारा मैक्स एक्यूमुलेशन के जो रिकॉर्ड बनाया हमने मैक्स एक्यूमुलेट वेरिएबल के उधर हम लोगों ने ऐड किया वो नम्स आई. उसके बाद हम लोगों ने आगे बढ़ा दैट इज़ आई प्लस 1 और या लेट्स से तो लेट्स कॉल दिस न्यू वन द नम्स आई. इधर हमारा जो मैक्स एक्यूमुलेशन का वेरिएबल है मैक्स एक्यूमुलेशन का वेरिएबल है उसके अंदर कोई नई चीज़ ऐड नहीं होगा. मतलब हमारा मैक्स एक्यूमुलेशन जो नम्स प्रीवियस आई का था अब इधर वो सेम चीज़ रहेगा. विच इज़ बीइंग सेड हियर दैट इज़ व्हाट इज़ बीइंग सेड हियर. मतलब मतलब आई न्यू आई के लिए जो मैक्स एक्यूमुलेशन होगा वो मैक्स आई माइनस 1 के लिए मतलब प्रीवियस आई के लिए सेम रहेगा. So I think basically it is saying that we are robbing house number 1 that is at I equals 0. Then similarly we are skipping I equals 1 nums I equals 1. So here at nums I मतलब nums here at nums 1 the max accumulation variable won't change with new values. It will remain the same. That is obviously that is obviously going to be the previous value of max accumulation. That's it. That's the maximum. इधर से हम लोगों का कोई नई चीज़ मिलेगा नहीं। ओके, इधर देखते हैं क्या मिलने वाला है। Alright, if nums equals 0, that guys, I think I'll have to focus a little bit, so I'll stop talking and focus in solving this or try to understand this real deal that is happening here. Because the way we solved is not your ideal way of solving a dynamic programming problem, which is why I really need to get my thoughts together if I want to learn dynamic programming. And uske liye this is really important. So I believe no one will have any issue with this, whatever I'm doing. So yeah, that's it. It's not that bad. साला किसके अंदर चलाएगा? कोई एक को प्रेस कर लिया था मैंने, इसलिए हुआ। शायद मैंने कुछ गड़बड़ कर दिया। तो हमारा रिकर्सिव फंक्शन इधर कंप्लीट हो गया। इधर हो क्या रहा है? अब हमारा ये वैल्यू होगा, हमारा ये होगा, तब हमारा ये होगा, तब हमारा ये होगा, तब हमारा ये होगा, तब हमारा ये होगा। दिक्कत की बात है। स्टार्टिंग से स्टार्ट करना होगा। इस तरीके का कोई रूल्स नहीं। अब समझा मैं क्या हो रहा है। ये सिर्फ So I guess this is the solution for this problem. This is the right way of approaching it. क्योंकि अब मेरे को समझ में आया क्योंकि what we are looking for is actually maybe I'm wrong, but let's say we are starting from 7, then we can drop 9, then it is going to be 3 and 1, and that's not the right way. That is not your how do I say it? In this way you're not actually able to rob the maximum amount of money from it. So इसके लिए तुमको जो करना पड़ेगा वो है starting from the index 0. So yeah, that's what it is happening here. So they're saying that what if we just change the value of it here? I think this will change the end result. Yes, that is exactly what is happening. So I was right about it. So that's what happened. तो इन लोगों ने कंपेयर किया क्योंकि मेरा जो गोल था, मैंने जो किया आई थॉट कि तुमको स्टार्टिंग से स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा, यू नो इज इंडेक्स 0. But they are not accepting that. They are saying that you can even start from index number 1, and if that happens, if you get the maximum amount of money from starting from an index number 1, then you are feel free, you can do it. Then you can do it. Feel free to do it. No one is going to stop you. Rather, you are discouraging. You are not. Because you're not encouraged to take or start from the very beginning of the array. You can skip the first house. If you start from the second house, you will have to skip the obviously third one and the fourth. Then you will have to target the fourth one, kind of like that. So that's what they are doing here, and it was quite good, I guess. I mean, we are comparing values. So I hope I get it. What is happening here? We only want max value. So either we are defining that उसके बाद so that it becomes easier for us to calculate. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. So that wasn't quite nice, I guess. I would say the problem solving procedure, whatever, it is quite good, and this is the right way of approaching things. So मैं इधर save कर रहा हूँ. Next time when we'll be solving Leetcodes, I'll be coming here. Where should I do it? Choose another Leetcode. Yeah. All right. With this, we'll be ending today's session, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys had fun watching this live stream. And as you can understand from the way I'm talking, I'm having a little bit complexities with my voice. That's why I can't really pronounce every single word properly. And from time to time, things are slipping out from my mouth, and my breathing is not really in my control. That's why I'm always feeling like out of control after every single sentence that I express myself with. That's why I can't really pronounce every single word properly. And from time to time, things are slipping out from my mouth, and my breathing is not really in my control. That's why I'm always feeling like out of control after every single sentence. I'm sorry, I made the fucking mistake. I already said, so you can't blame me or you can't mock me for that. I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm stuttering a lot and I'm skipping words. Like I was supposed to say that after every sentence, I'm feeling like In this is the problem. After every after every sentence that I say loudly, I'm feeling like out of breathing. So you can understand I'm struggling with breathing a lot, and these are the problems that are there. But who cares, man? We are just going to do it even when we are not feeling it. चाहे जो भी हो जाए, हम लोग जारी रहेंगे, and we will be trying our best to do it more accurately from time to time. In future when will be doing this, I'll try my best to properly handle every single thing that makes me look like I'm not really doing the right way of communicating with you guys. And from time to time, or I guess in future, I hope I'll be able to become a guy who knows how to explain things properly without really having to deal with the anxiety that bothers or that creates problem for me whenever I'm trying to explain things. I'm always feeling like the way I talk is not the right way of approaching things. And in this way, there's this insecurity. There's this insecurity inside me that always proclaims that I'm not good enough and I should wait for the right moment to come. And in that way, I'm always delaying things and always waiting for that arrival, which is not gonna happen even anyway. Ultimately, I'll be just waiting with lots of regret of not starting when it was the right moment. So anyway, I think today was pretty good. We were able to do a lot of things. We had fun while solving the problem, and maybe I was not able to do every single thing properly, but in future I guarantee I'll improve over time, because I can't really slack off. This is like not having any other things to do. This is like my last chance, and I don't have anything to lose to begin with. And when you have nothing to lose, you're supposed to pretend to have or to own everything. So right now, I believe I possess everything, every single thing in this world, everything. And that's why I will let go of that nervousness. I'll let go of that shyness that stops me from doing whatever matters. My time has so my time here concludes now. I think it is already enough for the day, I believe, because I don't really want to do it too much. That will make me that will cause me to end up with lots of fatigue and anxieties and other problems. So uske liye I'll be ending today's live stream here at this moment. It is 6:17 here, and yeah, that's it. Let's end today's live stream and see you tomorrow, I guess. And if you had fun while watching me solving problems, then make sure you like the stream, share the stream, and feel free to comment whatever you liked and whatever you felt that I needed to work, and whatever I feel that I need to work to improve. So yeah, that kind of feedback will be appreciable, I guess. So with this, I am concluding. Adios, amigos, whatever.